You already know that a project is a catalyst for change, and you only set a project because there is a certain goal. In this video, I'm going to talk about these goals and more specifically the measurements of these goals. We can split the goals into two types. The first type is non-financial goal and the second type is financial. Some projects could have as objectives increasing the customer satisfactions, maybe because you have a lot of complaints and you'd like to improve the branding of your company and its position in the market. So you need to keep a certain rate of customer satisfaction, and creating a project could have such a goal. And there is non-financial implications like this. We will invest $20,000 for this endeavor, and at the end of the day, the goal is to decrease the number of complaints from 20% to 10%, for example. There is non-financial return out of this project. Another example is the charity projects and the projects led by NGOs, non-governmental organizations. These type of projects usually have objectives as impact. For example, the charity could have the number of impacted families, or the number of people who are aware of certain situations such as the environment, global warming and stuff like that. Same thing for government projects. Building a street or improving the healthcare of the society is kind of projects that do not have financial implications, and we invest all this amount of money and we are not expecting financial returns. We are just expecting some goals for the benefit of the humanity. The next type is the financial type, where you are investing money and you are expecting to receive money back. And usually when we are facing one or two projects or many projects, if we have the financial mindset and we try to get the maximum of benefit, we will try to make some or adopt some measurements in order to compare between these projects and know whether we are in a good situation or not. We will see some measurements: return on investment, payback period, and cost-benefit ratio. We will also see the difference between future value, present value. We'll see all this kind of stuff. But first, I'm going to explain the situation in which we are going to apply all this or explain all these kind of measurements on the situation. All right, so imagine you are going to lead an investment. That investment will cost you $40,000 US. And this period in which you are going to work on until launching the product is usually time to market. This is also another measurement to take into consideration. Some projects are dismissed because the time to market is very long, and by the time you finish the project, maybe competitors already get into the market and the market will be saturated. And the longer the time to market, the less attractive will be the project. So imagine you are going to invest 40K here. We are supposing at the end of the year 1, we are going to generate 10K, and at the end of the year 2, we are going to generate 20K. Same for the subsequent years, year 3 and year 4, we will generate $20,000. So the investment is 40K and the return is 70. This is the, let's say, net income. The return on investment is when you are sitting here when you are at the end of the year 4, you are sitting here and you look back and you will say that I have generated 70K as a net income or net revenue out of 40K as an investment. So the return on investment in this case will be 70 divided by 40 multiplied by 100. In this case, it will be 175%. It means that every $1 you invest, you get $1.75 out of it. And this is the return on investment. It's a profitable project. In case it is not profitable, you will not get any revenue here, 0, and it will be 0%. You did not make any net income. You just do the investment, and here you did not get any benefit out of the project. The more the return on investment, the better is the project. But as we said, return on investment is when you look back. You already invested, you are here in year 4, and you are looking back and you already know this revenue that you have made, and you already know how much you invested. In this situation, the payback period is certainly not year 1, certainly not year 2. It will be here in the middle of year 2.5. So at the end of the year 3, we have reached 50. Between year 2 and year 3, this is the payback period. Now we know that this concept, but if you are sitting here, it will be the same concept or not? This is what we will see actually. Because if you are going to look in the future, these numbers could be not correct. Why it is not correct in this case? Because usually there is an inflation rate, because this $1 is after 1 year, not $1. It will be 90 cents because of the inflation. After 4 years, maybe it's 75 or 80 cents. So the value of this $1 changes. And that's why we should take into consideration the inflation rate. And in this example, I will take an inflation rate as 10%. Maybe it's too high, but in some countries in the world, we can have even 20 and 40% of inflation. So depending where you are, the inflation could be a major factor in taking any decision about investing. Okay, so in this example, I will take 10%, and let's see the value. We are saying that we are sitting here now. We are sitting here, and we will try to imagine how much 10K after 1 year. The formula is 10K divided by 1 plus 0.1, which is this inflation. 10% is 0.1. And after doing the calculations, it will be 9.909K. And I did the same formula here for year 2, splitting this value, which is considered as the future value. I'm expecting to receive 20K by the end of year 2. So these are the future values. And what I am looking for is I am looking for the value of this now. The value of this $1 after 1 year is 9 or 90 cents, because we have here 10K. So this is 9K. So we will do the same calculations here. Year 2, the value of 20K is 16.52K. It's not really 20. So if we update this one, we will get these values, and you see that the more we get into the years, the more the value decrease. For example, you can see here, this 20K becomes 13K. And here we don't talk about net income, we talk about net present value. The sum of this will become 54K instead of 70K, and the cost benefit analysis will be this one multiplied by 40, and I already did the calculation and find that it is 135%. You can see that if we are sitting here and we take into consideration the inflation rate, the percentage changed, and the cost benefit ratio is rather 135% and not 175 like we have seen when we are sitting here and we are looking back. Sometimes we see that cost benefit ratio is based on one, not percentage. In this case, it will be 1.35. The more cost benefit ratio, the best is the project, and the less is the worst. So always try to make it 100%, and the more it will be, the better. All right, these are kind of financial measurements that you can consider in your projects. This said that these measurements could not only used alone, because as we said, there is a lot of non-financial measurements you should take into consideration, even though you are look for financial revenues. Sometimes the risk of projects with high cost benefit ratio is very high, and you are a risk-averse company and you don't like to go through those projects. So taking into consideration the organizational process assets as well as the enterprise environmental factors is key to determine what measurement you should take. Hopefully that the difference is clear now between return on investment and cost benefit ratio, and by now you will understand how you can apply these measurements in your project and in your life as well.